And good afternoon, and welcome back once again to Case Western Reserve University as the Case Western Reserve University Spartans, looking for the four-game sweep over the University of Chicago, will begin the second game of their doubleheader momentarily here as they get set to face the Maroons. Game about to get going here, so we'll get you lineups here in just a minute, beginning with the batting order for the University of Chicago. Jackson Slipak leading things off. Michael Gladden batting second and playing third. First baseman Eric Ridner batting third in the order, and Jack Goldstein, the second baseman, hits cleanup. Malcolm White's the designated hitter, bats fifth. Jonathan Zevi playing left field and batting sixth. Eddie McCarthy, the catcher, batting seventh. Jack Sharp, the shortstop, in the eighth spot, and Brandon Jurovic, the center fielder, hits ninth. On the mound is Dev Rupani. We'll tell you more about him when Chicago takes the field in the bottom of the inning. There's a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1 on the leadoff hitter, Jackson Slipak. And facing Slipak is Tyler Stilson. Stilson, the first-year pitcher out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, making the second start of his career. That ball chopped down the third baseline foul, and the count goes to 1-2. Stilson 1-0 on the season with a 3.24 ERA through two appearances, including one start. He's thrown 8 and a third innings, giving up 8 hits for a 258 opponent's average. Stilson has struck out 13 batters and walked just 6 this year. Ahead in the count, 1-2 on Slipak, who is now batting at 300 on the season. The pitch from Stilson, he tries to hold up but can, and it's a strikeout to start the game for Stilson. So one away, and that will bring up Michael Gladden to the plate. Gladden hitting a 182 on the season. First pitch on the way from Stilson. We'll get you his defensive alignment behind him here in just a second. The first pitch, and checks his swing, does Gladden, holds up, and it's a 1-0 count. Defensively for the Spartans, first baseman is Dane Camphausen. Second baseman, Zach Carinci. Good to see him out there. That ball hit in the air deep towards center. Long run back for Andreyko. Still going back, and it's over his head. It hits off the warning track. Gladden's going to try for third. The throw comes in, and Gladden puts the brakes on. Think he would have made it one way or the other. But he holds up, stops at second base, celebrates, and he's on with a one-out double to right center field. So Gladden now at second base, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Eric Ridner. Ridner hitting at 262 on the year. Facing Stilson with a man in scoring position and one away. Pitches in the dirt, blocked nicely by Anderson, 1-0 the count. Shortstop today for the Spartans for the second straight game is Graham Price. He did a good job in game one. And then at third base, James Powers. In the outfield for Case Western Reserve, Franco Alonso in left. Center fielder is Logan Andreyko, and the right fielder is Nick Harms. Jack Anderson doing the catching in today's game. Stilson will also hit for the Spartans. He'll be their designated hitter, so as he takes a called strike there. 1-1 now the count on Ridner. Even after Stilson's day on the mound is done, he will stay in the game and hit. The 1-1. And the breaking ball misses down and out. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Stilson. And that ball sent in the air, shallow left. It drops in for a base hit. Runner had a hold, so stopping at third base is Gladden. But a one-out single by Ridner puts runners on the corners with one away here in the first. So Chicago threatening early. And that will now bring Jack Goldstein to the plate. Goldstein hitting a 186 on the year. By the way, Tyler Horvath, bring this up. He picked up a save in the first game of the day. He now has 16 for his career, 2 shy of the program's career record. Something to keep an eye on. Not sure if we'll get a chance to see him later today as that pitch misses down low, 1-0. Spartans have won the first 3 games of this series. They've all been pretty close games. 2-1 in 7 innings in game 1 of a doubleheader yesterday. 7-3 in the second game, 7-4, in the second game of the doubleheaders. That's in the dirt. Blocked well by Anderson as the count goes to 2-0. And then 6-3 in the first game today. Another 9-inning game on the docket here for the 4th and final game of the series. Runners on the corners and just one away after back-to-back double and a single for Chicago. And that one catches for a strike, 2-1. Goldstein came off the bench in the first game of the day. He started at second base in both games of the doubleheader yesterday and back there again today. 2-1 pitch on the way from Stilson. Taking his time now, delivers, and they'll call a pitch clock violation on Stilson, so the pitch doesn't count. Count goes to 3-1. It would have been a ball anyway. Stilson will do that with runners on the bases. It's one of the ways he controls the running game is just by varying his time to the plate. That time held it for a little bit too long. So that goes as a pitch clock violation, an automatic ball. 3-1 now the count. A walk here would load the bases, and that's exactly what will happen. So Chicago loads the bases with 1 out in the first. And the designated hitter, Malcolm Whites, will be the batter. Whites 0 for 6 so far this season, looking for his first hit. And hoping to pick it up in an opportune situation with the bases loaded and 1 away for the Maroons. Trying to jump on top of Stilson early here. Camphausen playing in front of the runner at first as Stilson's first pitch misses outside for a ball. And let's see if that prompts a meeting here on the mound. Nope, nothing yet. The Spartans have a fairly well-rested bullpen for having played 3 games in the last 24 hours. And one misses up high, 2-0. I would imagine Horvath likely not available as Steve Grunberg will now come out and talk with Stilson here. Horvath pitched in the first game yesterday through 30 pitches, then came back just a few minutes ago and threw 6 pitches to pitch a 1-2-3 ninth against Chicago and pick up his second save of the series. In case you missed it, the Spartans winning the earlier game today 6-3 over Chicago is the 400th win of head coach Matt Englander's career. All 400 coming here at Case Western Reserve. Hoping to pick up 401 this afternoon, but right now, a little bit of an early jam for Tyler Stilson, who is loaded the bases with 1 away and now behind in the count 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch. And that one lifted in the air, right field, deep along the line. Harms there in fair territory, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Tagging from third is Gladden. He'll come in to score, and Chicago strikes first in this one on a sacrifice fly by Malcolm Whites, and it's 1-0 Maroons. Ridner also moved up on the play. He advances to third. Again, Gladden scoring the first run of the game. And so Chicago striking first here. They take the early lead. It's the 3rd time in 4 games in this series that Chicago has scored first. But they just have not been able to hold the lead so far in any of these games. So now 2 outs, runners on the corners, and batter is Jonathan Zeeve, who takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. And if you're Stilson and you could somehow escape this inning with just the 1 run allowed, you've got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. Set you up well for the rest of this game if you can fine-tune a few things on the mound. Curveball swung on and missed at 0-2. And now a strike away from getting out of the inning with just that 1 run allowed. Stilson struck out the leadoff hitter in the game, but then allowed a double, a single, a walk, and that sacrifice fly to allow the run to cross for Chicago. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up towards the middle, took an opportune hop off the mound. Price is able to field it, flips to the second baseman, Carinci covering for the out, and that ends the threat here in the first. The Maroons do get a run across on 2 hits, but leave 2 stranded, and we'll move along into the bottom of the first inning in a 1-0 game. Chicago leading, and the Spartans will look to answer in their half of the first, and we'll tell you the lineup that will attempt to do it here. Logan Andreyko leading off and playing center field. The catcher, Jack Anderson, hits second. James Powers playing third base and hitting third, and then Nick Harms, the cleanup hitter, in the 4th spot. Dane Camphausen playing first base and batting 5th. Zach Carinci at second today and batting 6th. Tyler Stilson pitching and batting 7th. Franco Alonso, the left fielder, hits 8th, and then Grant Price, the shortstop, rounds out the lineup. For Chicago defensively today, first baseman is Eric Rindner, second baseman Jack Goldstein, the shortstop is Jack Sharp, and the third baseman is Michael Gladden. In the outfield, left fielder is Jonathan Zevi, center fielder is Brandon Jervik, and the right fielder is Jackson Slipak. Doing the catching, Eddie McCarthy, and on the mound today is Dev Rupani, the righty. Dev will enter this game with a 12.79 ERA on the year and no record. He's making his 4th appearance and 2nd start this season for Chicago, during which he's thrown a total of 6 1/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and issuing 5 walks. Opponents hitting .289 against him, but he has allowed 11 runs, 9 of those earned over those 6 1/3 innings pitched. So, again, he has allowed a lot of runs to score this inning, and the Spartans will try to keep that trend going here as they enter the bottom of the first inning, trailing 1-0. It'll be the familiar 3 at the top of the order for Case Western Reserve. In fact, the top 6 in the order seem pretty well set game by game right now. Andreyko, Anderson, Powers, Harms, Camphausen, Carinci. Andreyko hitting at .351 for the first time this season. He did not reach base in the early game today. Ended a streak of 17 straight games to start the season in which Andreyko had reached base. The only Spartan to reach base in every game of the year entering that early game. Andreyko, a .351 hitter, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Rupani, a lefty. He was listed on the stat sheet as a righty, but a lefty, delivers ball 1 to Andreyko, and it's 1-0. And foul back, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Right in there for a called strike, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 offering. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Rupani gets the strikeout, play completed at first base for the first out of the inning. And so with 1 out now, that will bring Jack Anderson to the plate. Anderson hitting at .386 now on the year. 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. First pitch. And he sprays that foul and out of play, 0-1. Anderson 2 for 4 in the opening game of the doubleheader. Drove in a run and scored a run. Down low, 1-1 the count. Chicago has pieced together the last 2 games with their bullpen. As that ball hits softly, line drive over to third. Easy play for Gladden, who puts it away for the second out of the inning. And now James Powers will step up to bat and hit here with 2 outs and the bases empty. Powers 2 for 4 in the first game of the day. His average up to 351 for the year. And that misses up high for a ball, 1-0. Again, Chicago shading, well, not shading, completely shifting Powers to hit the ball the opposite way, and that one fouled back. And if Powers has showed Chicago anything in this series, it's that really the best way to play him is straight up. He's a pretty good directional hitter and can send the ball if you give him a big enough hole. So yesterday, when Chicago played him to pull, he hit it the opposite way. Today, we've seen him pull a few through the hole in the infield. That one's a called strike, 1-2. So now the 1-2 on the way. And foul back. Count stays at 1-2. Now the 1-2. Patel sets, rocks, delivers. And Powers wastes that one away. Count stays at 1-2. Good job by Powers to make Rupani work. Rupani trying to get through a 1-2-3 first. Powers trying to stand in his way. Here's the pitch. Fouling out of play. Count stays at 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And ground ball off the first baseman. Picked up, thrown onto first, not in time. And it'll be an infield single for Powers. Powers hit that one hard off the bat right at the first baseman, Ridner. We've seen Ridner yesterday at first base. He's caught 2 games in the series as well, and clearly a bit more skilled defensively at catcher than first base. We saw him make a couple of miscues yesterday. That one hit hard, a playable ball, but on a ball hit by a lefty, that'll be a base hit. And so the Spartans have their first hit of the game, and now Nick Harms to the plate. With 2 outs and a runner on, potential game-tying run on the base paths for the Spartans with Harms, who's got home run power at the plate, takes a called strike, and it's 0-1. Down low and out. 1-1 the count now on Nick Harms. Harms hitting at .261 on the year. He's got 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. He's the program's all-time leader with 23 career home runs. In the dirt, and it's 2-1. Now the 2-1 offering from Rupani. Runner on at first, 2 away, the pitch. That's fouled back, 2-2. With the lefty Rupani on the mound, a good time to mention that the Spartans this season against left-handed pitching, batting .459 as a team against lefties. They have hit lefties hard. That one hit down the line at third, but will stay foul, and the count stays at 2-2 on Harms. You can look at a guy like Powers, who's a left-handed hitter. He's now 6 for 9, 666 batting average against lefties this year, including the hit today. Harms 3 for 7 entering the game against lefties. 2-2 on the way to Harms. Runner goes. The pitch taken for a ball. The throw goes down to second, and it is not in time. Stolen base for Powers, his 8th of the season to lead all Spartan players, and the count goes full at the plate, 3-2. So the Spartans now with a runner in scoring position, and Harms can drive him in with a base hit. Here's the 3-2 on the way. And he's tied up by an inside strike, called strike 3. And the inning is over. So the Spartans leave the potential game-tying run stranded at second base in the first, and it'll be a 1-0 Chicago lead as we move into the second. McCarthy, Sharp, and Jurvik due up. It's 1-0 Chicago when we come back. And a great catch at second base on the first pitch of the inning as McCarthy retired. Zach Carinci reaching up and plucking a line drive out of the air for the first out of the inning. One gone. So a good start by Carinci. And Tyler Stilson, who gave up a run on 2 hits in the first inning, hoping to settle down here. As he begins the second against the bottom of the order, got the first out, and now Jack Sharp, the hitter, takes a called strike 0-1. McCarthy lined out, then Sharp and Jurvik will be the next two to the plate. That one misses up high, 1-1. Now the 1-1. Called strike 1-2. Stilson got the start against Oswego State last week during the team's trip to South Carolina as he gets a swing and a miss there. He ended up striking out 10 batters in the game in his first career start. So now 2 gone in the inning. That's 4 straight retired by Stilson, and that'll bring Braden Jurvik to the plate as the first pitch from Stilson down low, 1-0. Jurvik hitting at .212 on the year, getting its first at bat of the second game of the day, and that's in the dirt, 2-0. Stilson looking for a quick second inning, about to throw his 29th pitch of the game overall after giving up a run in the first. His 2-0 offering. And a letter high strike, 2-1. Jurvik appeared to be taking all the way there on 2-0. Jurvik, 7 hits and 33 at-bats, one of those a double. Yet to drive in a run this year. Curveball misses the zone, it's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 offering. And outside, ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued to the 9-hitter by Stilson. And now back to the top of the order, and Jackson Slipak will be the batter. Slipak struck out swinging to start the game. One of 2 strikeout victims today for Stilson through the first inning and 2/3. Stilson gets the signs from Anderson. A righty-righty matchup here as Stilson delivers. The runner fakes the go. The pitch stays up high, and it's a 1-0 count. Slipok now batting at .294 on the year. Again, been a bit of a tough series for him after he entered the weekend as the best hitter statistically in the Chicago lineup. The 1-0 on the way. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Jervik comes back in standing up. Now the 1-0 on the way. Outside for a ball, 2-0. Runner goes, the pitch taken for a ball. The throw is behind the runner. And it's a stolen base for Jervik. That'll be his second of the year. And they'll call that actually a strike at the plate. So it's 2-1. Two and one count now with 2 away. Runner at second base. And Chicago looking to add to a 1-run lead. And one misses ball 3, 3-1. Three-one from Stilson. Outside corner called strike. Full count 3-2. So 2 outs, a 3-2 count on Slipok with a runner at second. First base open here, so if you're Stilson, you can make a good pitch in this scenario. As the 3-2 on the way to Slipok. And the breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. Yeah, something we spoke about in the first game, that this is a scenario where you don't want to just throw a get-me-over fastball here to avoid walking the batter at the plate. You need to make a competitive pitch with a runner at second in this scenario. 3-2, 2 away. Here's the pitch from Stilson. And foul back again. Count stays at 3-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, did he tip it? Yeah, he just got a piece of it, and so Slipok stays alive. Fouled it off into the ground, and so Stilson's going to have to pull another pitch out of the arsenal here to try to retire the batter. Good at bat here for Slipok. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And a ground ball hit towards third. Powers smothers it, gets up, throws to first, and the throw gets away. That'll allow the run to score. It'll be a single and an error on the throw that allows the runner to move up and score. And Chicago increases its lead. It's now 2-0. So no RBI. It goes as an unearned run. And with 2 outs now, runner at second base. And the first pitch now taken by Gladden up high, 1-0. Gladden doubled in his first at bat and came around to score the first run of the game for the Maroons, who now lead 2-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And lifted in the air, fouling out of play, 1-1. Ground ball hit towards short. Price with it. Throws to first in time to get the out, and that ends the inning. But Chicago adds on another run. With 1 hit and an error in the frame, we'll move along into the second. It'll be Camphausen, Carinci, and Stilson due up for the Spartans, trailing 2-0 when we come back. Dane Camphausen takes a first pitch strike from Dev Rupani, and it's an 0-1 count on Big Dane at the plate. Dane, the graduate student out of McLean, Virginia, waits the 0-1 and takes that one down and in, 1-1. Camphausen 2 for 2 in the early game today. Now hitting right at 300 on the year. Swing and a miss there. It's 1-2. Camphausen leads the team with 4 home runs. He's driven in 17 this year. And hits that one, and that'll get through the hole for a base hit. And once again, we see Chicago burned by the shift there. They had Camphausen shifted to pull, and Camphausen sends a slow roller that, if you're playing straight up, is an easy out. Instead, it's a single for Camphausen, his third of the day between the two games. He's been on base, in fact, every time he's come to the plate now. And so Camphausen on, and that will bring Zach Carinci, the second baseman, to the plate. Carinci batting at .244. That one in the dirt. Camphausen looking to move up. The throw goes to second, and it takes a hop in the dirt, bounces away, and Camphausen will move up on a wild pitch. So Camphausen now in scoring position with nobody out. It's a 1-0 count at the plate. Carinci 0 for 4 in the first game of the day. Fouls that one back, and the count evens 1-1. The 1-1 offering on the way to Carinci. Trying to drive the first run into the game for the Spartans, and he will do so here. That ball sent it to shallow left. Let's see if they wave Camphausen home. They will stop him as he dives back into third. I thought head coach Matt Englander was sending him, and they're having a little conversation about it now. I think Camphausen picked the sign up a little bit late there. And so he'll have to stop at third on the single to left by Carinci. But the Spartans with something cooking here now in the second inning. Tying runs on the base pass with back-to-back singles to start the inning for Camphausen and Carinci. And now a chance for Stilson to help his own cause as he takes a called strike, 0-1. Stilson really starting to heat up at the plate now. 14 of 45 on the year. That's good for a .311 average. He's got 2 home runs, and he's driven in 9. And that one misses outside. 1-1 on Stilson. Stilson 5 of 8 against lefties this year, and boy, hits that a long way, but well foul. And the count goes to 1-2 on Tyler, who was out in front of that pitch, but again, made good contact. So 1-2 count now. Rupani looking for his first out of the inning. Skips that one into the plate, and it's now 2-2. So 2-2 as the count comes even. Nobody out. The pitch. And that ball hit in the air deep towards left field, and that will get down for extra bases. It bounces off the warning track and ricochets off the wall. Camphausen can jog home. Carinci pulls in at third, and moving into second with an RBI double is Tyler Stilson. That's his second double of the year, his 10th RBI, and the Spartans on the board here in the second. It's now 2-1. So Stilson helping his own cause out there. Drives in the first run of the game for Case Western Reserve. Now the potential game-tying run just 90 feet away. The potential go-ahead run in scoring position at second in Stilson, and Franco Alonso will be the batter. But he'll have to wait a second here as we'll have a meeting on the mound to discuss the situation here. That is not the head coach for Chicago. That's one of their assistants, who is out talking to Rupani. No action in the bullpen for Chicago. And again, we've seen Chicago, their last two starters throw just 2 innings each, and it appeared to be scheduled that way. So we'll see how long Rupani gets in this game. In danger of giving up an early 2-0 lead here as the first pitch to Alonso misses up and in, 1-0. Franco Alonso, the left fielder, hitting a .292. He was 0 for 4 in the earlier game today. Infield pulled in for Chicago with nobody out. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Probably tells you a little bit about what head coach Kevin Tyrell thinks about his offensive chances in this game, as that's low to pull the infield in with a 1-run lead in the bottom of the second inning. But they'll try to cut the run down at the plate. 2-1 is on the way now. In the dirt, 3-1. Well, first base is open here, and if you're Patel, again, you don't want to start issuing walks, but you've got the 9-hitter out on deck. This is probably a good situation to put one out of the zone here, not try to get one in. Instead, he does put one in the strike zone, and with the infield pulled in, it's a single up the middle for Alonso. 2 runs will score easily as Carinci and Stilson both cross the plate, and the Spartans on top on a 2 RBI single for Alonso. It's now 3-2. Well, one of those plays where it just seems like all the game planning for Chicago went awry there. That one probably would have gone through even with the infield back at normal depth, but with the infield pulled in, no chance to get to that one. And it allows both runners to score. The 2 RBIs for Alonso give him 12 on the season, and the Spartans with their first lead of the game. Grant Price now gets the bunt down. He'll throw to second, and the throw will get away. That will go as a fielder's choice. No error on the play. Fielder's choice and a sacrifice bunt for Price. And it's now first and second with nobody out. And Logan Andreyko will be the batter, and the Spartans have a chance for a big inning here. Top of the order, back up. Andreyko 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. He'll square to bunt, and the pitch is in the dirt. Throw goes back to second, and just diving back ahead of the throw is Alonso. So 1-0 count at the plate. Now the 1-0. Up high, 2-0. So 2-0 on Andreyko, trying to extend the Spartans' lead. 3 runs across this inning so far for Case Western Reserve. Called strike there, and it's 2-1. Down and away, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Andreyko. And he takes a called strike at the knees. Full count, 3-2. So Andreyko with a 3-2 count and nobody out. 2 on. Rupani trying to work out of trouble here in the second after he pitched an effective first. 3 runs across so far for the Spartans. Here's his 3-2. Runners go. The pitch swung on. Chopper hit towards second base. Goldstein has it. Throws on to first in time to get the out. With the runners in motion, just 1 out on the play, and so 2 in scoring position once again for the Spartans. Now with 1 out in the inning, and Jack Anderson will be the batter. Anderson popped out to third base in his first at bat, hitting at .380 on the year and a chance to add 2 RBIs to his season total with a base hit. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1 to Anderson. Doesn't appear to be anyone warming up in the Chicago bullpen. This is Rupani's game for now as he tries to navigate the second inning. Anderson sends that sky high. Center field. We'll see if it's deep enough to get the run in. Catch is made. Tagging from third is Alonso. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's in time. The ball isn't held, though. And sliding in safely is Alonso on the sacrifice fly. And the catcher hurt on that play. Alonso scores the run. It's 4-2, and let's see Eddie McCarthy if he's okay. I think what happened there was the ball hit off the ground and bounced off his eye. That's why he didn't hold on to it. And I'm wondering if either the ball bounced off his eye or maybe a piece of the turf came up and got in his eye. But either way, it looks like McCarthy will be okay and he'll stay in the game. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Jack Anderson, who drives in his 11th run of the year. 4th run of the inning for the Spartans, who now lead 4-2. And a chance for James Powers with a runner at second and 2 away to try to extend the lead further. Powers singled in his first at bat. Let's see how they play him here. And once again, they will shift Powers to hit the ball the opposite way. And it gives him a lot of room to pull here, which Powers is capable of doing. First pitch. And he swings through it, and it's 0-1. Again, Powers a good directional hitter. He's sort of the opposite of a guy you'd want to shift against. Called strike, it's 0-2. The thing that really confuses me is that, again, yesterday Chicago was shifting him to pull. They made a decision at one point to shift him the opposite way, but maybe you reach a point where you say, hey, let's just play this guy straight up. That is not what they're doing here, though, is the 0-2 on the way. And it's outside. Now, the one thing you have to give Rupani credit for here in the Chicago plan, they're pitching him right with the defensive shift. So that's one of the positives here, is that they're pitching him outside because you want him to roll over one and send it that opposite way. And again, you see another pitch outside. But if you're going to shift a hitter such as Powers this way, that's the only way to approach it. You just have to keep that ball well outside against him. And look at where the catcher, McCarthy, is lined up. And there you go. It's a mistake made. The pitch misses in. Powers pulls it through the hole vacated by the shift. And now the ball rolls into center field, and Powers will pull into second with an RBI double. Well, again, that is a run that could have been avoided had Chicago just played Powers straight up. Instead, he takes advantage. And again, if you're going to do that, you need to execute perfectly if you're the pitcher. And in that case, Rupani, who had executed well throughout the entire at-bat, just left one hanging a little bit too over the middle of the plate, and Powers was able to pull it through the hole. And again, that is an out if they're playing him straight up. Called strike to Nick Harms, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2 now. Harms struck out looking in his first at bat. He's hitting a .257 on the year. Tied with Powers for the team lead with 23 runs batted in. Awaits the 0-2 from Rupani, who delivers, and Harms fouls it back. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I'm not a huge fan of shifts at the Division III level in general. Most of my argument against them is that you just don't have the data to support them. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends the inning, but the Spartans strike for 5 here in the second to take the lead. They send 9 men to the plate as they hit around. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and a man left on. Third inning coming up. Case Western Reserve leading 5-2. Heart of the order for Chicago. Ridner, Goldstein, and White's due up when we return. First batter of the inning is Ridner, who swings and misses 0-1. It'll be Ridner, Goldstein, and White's due up this inning. Heart of the order for Chicago is all of a sudden the Maroons down 5-2 after leading 2-0. Called strike, and it's 0-2. That's hit in the air, center field, deep but playable. Back and underneath it, and making the catch is the center fielder, Logan Andreyko, for the out, 1 gone. So Ridner retired. He's now 1 for 2 on the day. And Jack Goldstein will be the batter. Goldstein, the cleanup hitter, walked in his first at bat of the day. Goldstein, a junior out of Houston, Texas. And takes that up high for a ball, 1-0. And line foul, 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way from Stilson, who's working with the lead for the first time today. Delivers a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Yeah, if you're Stilson, you've got that 3-run lead right now. It's time to fill up the strike zone here. Let Chicago beat you with their bats. Again, a team that came into the day hitting at just .213 for the season. It's down low for a ball, 2-2. Listen, if Chicago is somehow able to find their way here and start getting hits in bunches, it's one of those where if you're Stilson, you tip your cap and adjust. But until they prove that they can consistently get hits on the board, you just fill that strike zone up. 2-2. Up high, 3-2. Stilson working quickly. His 3-2 offering on the way. Fastball, foul back. Count stays at 3-2. Especially working with a lead now if you're Stilson. Shakes off a few signs here. Now gets a pitch he likes. Here's a 3-2. And a fastball misses outside. Stilson wanted that one, but doesn't get the call, and that'll be ball 4. So Malcolm Whites will be the new batter. White's 0 for 7 now on the 0 for 6, excuse me, on the season. He's driven in 1. That came earlier in this game on a sacrifice fly that scored the first run of the game. This one hit towards third and through for a base hit. So White's with his first hit of the season. And they're 2 on with 1 away now for Jonathan Zeavy. Zeavy grounded into fielder's choice to end the first inning. Batting at 190 on the year. Popped up. Shallow right. Currency back. And puts it away for the out. 2 gone. I believe they called the infield fly rule on that one. Albeit a little bit late, but the infield fly rule was called. Frankly, not sure that's the right application of the rule, but hey, it was called nonetheless. Again, I don't know if Currency ever fully settled underneath that one. Either way, 2 gone, 2 on, and the batter is Eddie McCarthy, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 with a line out to second base. Took a nice play by Currency to retire him. First pitch breaking ball. McCarthy takes it for a called strike, 0-1. Stilson looking for a scoreless third inning after allowing single runs in the first and second. He's got 2 on and 2 away. Another breaking ball right at the knees for a strike, 0-2, and now Stilson a strike away from getting through the third unscathed. The 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stilson gets him swinging. It's the third strikeout of the game for Stilson. And that will end the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third. The Spartans with a 5-2 lead. It'll be the same 3 that led it off last inning. Camphausen, Currency, and Stilson to the plate when we come back. Dane Camphausen set to lead things off here for the Spartans. Started off last inning with a single and is now 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a pair of walks in the 2 games today. He's been on base every time he's been to the plate so far over the course of today's doubleheader. Rapani's still on the mound. His first pitch up and out for a ball, and it's 1-0. Once again, Chicago will shift Camphausen to pull. He singled through the right side of the infield last time when they shifted on him. And again, as you would expect, Rupani pitching him inside, which is a good job, but you just leave very little margin of error for your pitcher when you shift like this against hitters who can take the ball the other way and have proven they can already. That one's in the dirt for a ball, 3-0. Rupani, the only, at least as far as I could tell, the only left-handed pitcher on the roster for Chicago, which in general is a very right-handed heavy roster. 3-0 on the way. And a called strike at the knees, 3-1. There is someone throwing, soft tossing right now in the Chicago bullpen is the 3-1 at the knees, 3-2, full count. Three-two on the way. And that ball hit in the air, deep towards left field, back at the wall, looking up, and it is gone. 5th home run of the season for Dane Camphausen. It comes on a 3-2 pitch. He puts it over the wall in left field, and the Spartans extend their lead to 6-2. Dane Camphausen continuing to mash today. Again, his team leading 5th home run of the year. And it's now a 4-run Case Western Reserve University lead. So Camphausen with the home run. That'll bring Zach Carinci to the plate. He singled in his last at bat and is now up to 262 on the year. First pitch. Fouled back, and it's 0-1. Now the 0-1 on the way. And Carinci jammed by that one. Brings the count to 0-2 on the Spartans' second baseman. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Rupani delivers. Hit in the air, center field shallow, but playable. And to get it and making the catch is Jurovic for the first out of the inning. So one gone now for Tyler Stilson. Stilson looked good against Rupani in his first at bat. Ended up doubling to deep left field. He also pulled the ball foul. That was hit hard, so he was locked in pretty good against Rupani in the first at bat. See what he does here in his second trip to the plate. Takes the first pitch down low, 1-0. Stilson now batting at .326 on the year. He's driven in 10 runs this season. The double was his second of the year. It's now 2-0. Shift on the infield for Stilson to pull here. The 2-0. And that's down low, 3-0. See if Stilson gets a green light, 3-0 with one away and the base is empty. And he does. Well, he doesn't. He takes, and that'll be ball 4. So Stilson draws the walk, and now Franco Alonso had a 2 RBI single that turned a 1-run Case Western Reserve deficit into a 1-run Case Western Reserve lead in his last at bat. Will be the batter. Before he can hit, Matt Englander, the head coach for the Spartans, will pull him over and have a quick conversation. And so returning to the plate now is Alonso after the brief meeting. Runner at first is Stilson with one away. A run across in the inning on a solo home run by Dane Camphausen. Rupani, who delivers his 69th pitch of the game, well outside, gets away from the catcher, and moving up to second on a wild pitch is Stilson. 1-0 now the count on Alonso, who has a runner in scoring position. And that's fouled back. So 1-1 now on Alonso. Alonso 6 of 22 with runners in scoring position this year. Pickoff attempt. as the throw goes down to second. If nothing else, you force the opposing pitcher there in Stilson, who again is hitting today for himself, to work a little bit harder on the base paths. The 1-1. In the dirt, blocked nicely by McCarthy. 2-1. Called strikes, and it's 2-2. Two on the way. And a swing and a miss at a good curveball, strike 3. So Rupani gets the strikeout, his third of the game. Pardon me, his fourth. And 2 gone now for Graham Price, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in his first trip to the plate last inning. Price hitting at .250 on the year. Price credited with a sacrifice bunt on that play. Bunted one back to the pitcher, Rupani, who decided to throw back to second. Probably wouldn't have had a play at the lead runner anyway, but he threw to second, and the throw is slightly errant, so it goes as a sac bunt for Price as the runner moves up a bag. Now the 1-0 to Price, down and away, 2-0. Fouled off. So 2-1 now on Price at the plate, who's starting his second straight game at short for the Spartans. Price played some good defense over there at short today. Good to see him getting into the swing of things here. The left-handed hitter awaits the 2-1. Outside for a ball, 3-1. On the way now. First base open. And that one swung on, soft liner to third. Catch is made by Gladden, and the inning is over. One run on a hit. It was a solo home run by Dane Camphausen to lead the inning off, and the Spartans increased their lead to 6-2 over to Chicago. In the fourth, it's Sharp, Jurevich, and Slipak. 8-9-1 due up when we return. Fourth inning coming up, in Case Western Reserve leading 6-2 over Chicago. Bottom of the order was Sharp and Jurevich, followed by Slipak here to face Tyler Stilson, whose first pitch is a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Sharp hitting a .290 on the season. Struck out swinging in his first at bat against Stilson. His 0-1 on the way, and a little outside, 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. We have one of the former great Spartan pitchers in the press box with us, Jake Shields. If I had that second mic, I would absolutely put him on here, but as he said, it's a liability, though, as that misses for a ball. It's funny, up until about a week ago, as that one liner hit to short off of the chest of Price, and that'll get in for a base hit for Sharp. So single to short on a hard hit line drive. Kind of caught Price in between there. And that'll be a single. Did his best to knock it down, but it just ricocheted to the side. So hard hit ground ball. Again, it's one of those where you don't necessarily have the time to come in and charge it and catch it on a liner, but you also don't have a chance to back up and field it on a short hop. That one popped up shallow center field by Jurevich, and making the catch in center is Andreyko for the first out of the inning. So one gone now. I was going to say, the funny thing, Jake, is that, up until I think about like 2 weeks ago, you had one of the highest strikeout games in program history. I think you struck out 12 in a game. We've seen that happen now 3 times in the last week now. So old news sitting behind me over here. But Jake was fantastic pitcher for the Spartans during his time here. Helped the team reach the NCAA tournament his senior year, or was it 2 times? Because you made it in 2014, right, when you were here? So called strike at the knees now. The leadoff hitter, Slipok. I was only here for one of those, so anything before I got here is just irrelevant, I guess. But now those were some good. That 2014 team, a really talented team. And I believe that was the year the loss to Whitewater, right? Or was that the Marietta year? Salisbury, there you go. One of those. I'll get it right eventually. 0-2 now on Slipok with a runner at first and one away in the inning. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Stilson strikes out Slipok. Staying at first base is Sharp, and now 2 outs. Runner at first for Michael Gladden, who is 1 for 2 in the game. A double and a run scored in the first, grounded out to short in the second. And popped up and out of play. And it's an 0-1 count. Now the 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss on the pitch up and in, and Stilson a strike away from his second straight scoreless inning. This will be the 70th pitch of the game for Stilson. He rocks and delivers. And it's in the air, right field, playable for Harms. He's underneath it, puts it away in a quick inning for Stilson, who works around the leadoff single, but retires the next 3 in order, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 4th. Case Western Reserve leading in this one 6-2. Top of the order for the Spartans, Andreyko, Anderson, and Powers when we come back. Welcome back once again. Case Western Reserve leading 6-2. New pitcher on the mound for Chicago will be Kaysen Pells, making his 6th appearance out of the bullpen this season for the Maroons. He is yet to record a decision. A 5.68 ERA through 6 1/3 has given up 6 hits, 5 runs for the Maroons. He struck out 6, walked 3 as that ball hit into left center. A diving attempt and the catch. No signal yet. Now the home plate umpire signals out. And Andraco will head back to the dugout. So first pitch swing against Pells. Andraco sends one to the gap, and a really nice diving catch by Jurvik, the center fielder, to retire Andraco for the first out of the inning. Matt Englander is going to argue this one with Bryce McCalla, the umpire, out in the field. Similar situation yesterday where the center fielder Jurvik dove for a ball. Appeared, at least from here, like it bounced off the ground, and it was called yesterday and out, and same thing today on another nice diving, at least what's called a catch for Jurvik. So 1 away, bases empty, and now Jack Anderson will be the batter. Anderson, a sacrifice fly in his last at bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day and takes the fastball inside from Kells. It's a 0-1 count, or 1-0 count, excuse me. And inside again, 2-0. Pells, a junior out of Danville, California, De La Salle High School. Falls behind Anderson now 3-0. You could bet that Jack has a green light on this pitch if there's something for him to hit. We'll see. 3-0 on the way. And he takes inside again, ball 4. And a 4-pitch walk to Jack Anderson. And that'll bring James Powers to the plate. Let's see if they shift him here. And we'll look around the infield, a look to the dugout, and now everyone indeed will shift Powers again to hit the opposite way, despite the fact that he has 2 hits through the right side of the infield today. And he swings at the first pitch, pops it up on the infield, see if anyone calls it, and it's in fair territory. Making the catch is the catcher for the second out of the inning. So McCarthy puts that away for the out, and now Nick Harms to the plate. Harms 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts today. Harms settling back in now is Anderson, a speed threat at first base. He'll take off, and that ball swung on and almost took off the umpire's head on the hit and run. Anderson will be waved around. Here comes the throw to the plate. Anderson slides in, and he is out on the play. He still hasn't touched home plate, and let's make sure everyone's okay. There hasn't been a call yet, and we'll make sure Anderson's okay there. Again, I haven't seen a call yet from the home plate umpire. I'm going to assume Anderson is out there. He tried to score from first on a hit and run. The catcher, McCarthy, who had been hurt earlier, it appeared this time seems to be a little worse for the wear. And we'll see if he's okay. The umpires, I think, are going to get together and discuss this. As of now, it would be an 8-4-2 put out at the plate. And again, no call was ever made by the home plate umpire. But it appears by the way head coach Matt Englander is arguing, he indeed was out on the play. So that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on. We'll move along into the 5th. The Spartans leading 6-2. Fortunately, McCarthy getting up here, and we'll hopefully see if he could stay in the game. In the meantime, we'll take a break. 5th inning coming up, part of the order for Chicago when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is Austin McGowan, who will take over for Tyler Stilson, who was capped at 70 pitches today. Nice day for Stilson on the mound. We'll get you his final line. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, just 2 runs, and only one of those was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4 in his 70-pitch outing. So another nice start by Stilson, even though he only went 4, in line for the win today because it was a scheduled 70-pitch outing. So he is potentially in line for a win here today. Austin McGowan taking over on the mound. And McGowan, a bit of an up and down season for him so far this year. He'll get some innings here, though, to try to do some damage against Chicago. McGowan, the sophomore, he'll be making his 8th appearance out of the bullpen this season. No record, an 8.44 ERA. Delivers a first pitch curveball for a called strike, 0-1. And that is that good curveball that McGowan has, that when he is on and locating it, it is tough to hit. McGowan, 1 save on the year, 10 2/3 innings. He's allowed 11 hits. That ball grounded through the infield, and that'll be a base hit for Rindner. "11 hits, 12 runs, 10 of them earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 11. Opponents hitting .282 against McGowan this year. Rindner, the batter at first, or the runner at first. Goldstein at the plate. He's walked twice today. And that's a called strike, 0-1. And that's a ball, 1-1. That one misses down low. 2-1 now the count. Fouled off, third base side, and out of play. The count even now on Goldstein, 2-2 with nobody out and a runner at first. Double play depth in the infield for the Spartans is the 2-2 on the way. McGowan sets, delivers. There's the curve, swung on, and did he get a piece of it? Yeah, must have. It's 2-2 still. Again, that good curve by McGowan. When he's locating it, he is dangerous on the mound. Another good curve, and there it is, swung on and tipped into Anderson's glove for strike 3. So first out of the inning, and that'll bring Malcolm Whites to the plate. 1 for 1 with a sac fly and a single. First pitch curve drops in there for a strike, and you can tell McGowan feeling good with that curveball today. The 0-1, line foul and out of play, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering. And that just misses off that outside corner, 1-2. Chopper hit towards third, powers with it, goes a short way for 1, no chance to turn 2. And that will be the second out of the inning as Ridner retired on the play. So 2 gone now for Jonathan Zevi. It appears that after the contact at the plate at the end of the last inning, it'll be a new catcher in the game for Chicago as Will Benner has come out on deck. And a called strike to Zevi, 0-1 the count. So I imagine we'll see Benner take over behind the plate starting next inning. The 0-1 from McGowan. And a called strike. Good frame job there by Anderson to pull that one back over the strike zone. Brings the count to 0-2. McGowan trying to get through the inning. And it's fouled off by Zevi. 0-2 still. Good opportunity here, 0-2, to try to get a curveball down below the strike zone, see if he can swing at it. Well, hung that one a bit, and it misses high, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, that missed somewhere for ball 2, 2-2 the count. Looked good from up here, maybe a bit high, and then broke after it crossed the strike zone, but we'll see. 2-2, runner goes. The pitch misses outside. Anderson throws, and the throw is a little high. And Whites with the stolen base moves into scoring position with a 3-2 count now and 2 away. Good job by Anderson to make a play of it at second base. Quick release for Jack as that ball pulled him, well, up and out, but was able to recover quickly and fire one down to second. Throws just a little off. That one misses up and out for a ball, and it's a walk issued by McGowan. Puts 2 on with 2 away. And we will get the pinch hitter here, and likely staying in the game will be Will Benner, the catcher. So Benner pinch hitting. Benner, one of just 2 left-handed hitters on the roster for Chicago. Sprays that one foul, 0-1. He's batting at 111 on the year. White's the runner at second. Zevi over at first. Benner at the plate. And he takes a called strike, 0-2. Curveball. Where did that miss? 1-2 the count. And the fastball a little outside, 2-2. Now, a lot of movement on that curve for McGowan. And he just hasn't been getting some of those close calls on it so far today. And fastball on the outside corner, called strike 3, and that ends the inning. So McGowan, 2 strikeouts in the inning. He leaves 2 runners stranded. Bottom of the 5th coming up. The Spartans leading 6-2. We'll be back in just a minute. Dane Camphausen set to lead things off. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a home run, 4 for 4 in the day so far, and he takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. Camphausen's average up to .319 for the season. He scored a pair of runs in the second game today, facing Pels for the first time. And the fastball there for a called strike, 1-1. Camphausen facing the shift here. Hits that one into the shift right at the third baseman. And the throw on to first in time to get the out. So that time the shift successful for Chicago as Camphausen grounds into the first out of the day that he's hit into. And there's one gone here in the 5th, and Zach Carinci coming to the plate. Carinci 1 for 2 in the game, a single in the second, a fly out to center in the third. Pels pitched a scoreless 4th in relief of Dev Rupani. Now retires the first batter here in the 5th. Down low, 1-1. Up high, 2-1 on Carinci. And that one poked foul, so 2-2 as the count comes even. Bun hit in the air, deep towards left field, but it'll hold in the ballpark. Is going back and making the catch is Zevi for the second out. So Carinci gave that one a nice ride, but nothing to show for it. And now Tyler Stilson will be the batter. Stilson out of the game as the pitcher, but stays in as the DH here, and will get his third trip to the plate today. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI, double, and a walk. First pitch. And that one sent down the line in right field, and that will stay. No, it just goes foul. Barely missed dropping one in the opposite field as Stilson will now retreat to the plate. That one down low. It's 1-1. And a chopper, third base side foul, 1-2. In the air, fouling out of play. And so Stilson staying alive here. The pitch. That's up high, 2-2. And full count, 3-2. So Stilson working a nice at bat here. It's now full 3-2. Franco Alonso out on deck. Stilson awaits a 3-2 now with the bases empty and 2 away. And it's inside, ball 4. So second straight walk that Stilson has drawn. And the batter now will be Franco Alonso. Alonso 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single in the second and struck out swinging in the third. This is down low for a ball, 1-0. Alonso now hitting 300 on the year. He's cooled off a little bit at the plate, but had a big hit earlier today. It was the go-ahead hit for the Spartans in the game. Went chasing there, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way. And he hits that down the line, foul down the left field side, 1-2. Runner goes, the pitch taken for a ball, throw down to second, and it's in time for the out. So that ends the inning as the runner caught stealing, Stilson, and the Spartans held scoreless in the fifth. We'll move to the sixth, 6-2, Case Western Reserve leading when we come back. 8-9-1 for the Spartans as we get set to begin the inning. New pitcher on the mound for Case Western Reserve will be Jackson Brewer. Brewer in the middle of a nice season for the Spartans. He's been an effective arm out of the bullpen. Misses there, though. Biggest strength for Jackson is that he throws strikes, and that makes him valuable to this team. Jackson making his 7th appearance overall. One of those was a start. He's 3-0 with a 3.93 ERA. Called strike makes it 2-1. Opponents hitting .329 against him. He struck out 17 and walked just 4 in 18 innings of work this year. Jackson, a junior, is that ball hit in the air, deep right field, but Harms has it lined up, makes the catch, and that will be the first out of the inning. So Sharp retired after going 1 for 2 entering the at-bat, now 1 for 3 on the day. And the batter now will be Braden Jurevec, the center fielder, hitting a .206 on the year, 0 for 1 in the game, a walk and a run scored in the second, and then flew out to center field in the fourth. First pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The Spartans with a 4-run lead, 6-2. Another one fouled back. And it's 0-2 on Jurevec. Timeout called at the plate. Little outside. Good pitch there. 0-2 from Brewer. Jackson out of Greenville, South Carolina. Came inside. Jurevec doesn't bite as the count goes to 2-2. And slider a little short, misses 3-2. Nine-hitter Jurevec at the plate. He swings and fouls that one back, so stays alive here against Brewer. Imagine we'll see Brewer for a few innings here. Shakes off a few signs. Now gets something he likes. 3-2. Let's see what he comes with here. And it's a slider on the outside corner for a called strike 3. Beautiful pitch for Brewer. And now first 2 batters of the 6th inning retired, and that will bring up Jackson Slipak to the plate. Slipak 1 for 3 in the game. A single back in the 2nd inning. He's hitting at .302 on the year. And another fastball outside corner. Brewer looking good here after a little wild to the first batter. He's settled in nicely on the mound. The 0-1. Another one that catches the strike zone, 0-2. And Brewer a strike away from a quick 6th inning. And a swing and a miss. Anderson completes the play at first, and that ends the inning. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3-6 for Brewer. We'll move to the bottom of the inning. Case Western Reserve coming up to bat. 8-9-1 in the order. Alonzo, Price, and Andraco due up when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the University of Chicago will be Grant Tenuta. Franco Alonso to lead off the inning against him was at the plate when Tyler Stilson was caught stealing. First pitch from Tenuta catches the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Tenuta, first-year player out of Orland Park, Illinois, Carl Sandburg High School, 6'1", 200 pounds. Right-hander delivers on the outside corner again, 0-2. Tenuta 0-3 on the year. This will be his 5th appearance of the season and his 3rd out of the bullpen. He's got an ERA of 6. Alonso fouls that one back. Count stays at 0-2. 9 innings this season for Tenuta. He's given up 13 hits for a .351 opponent's batting average. He's also walked 12 in 9 innings. Struck out just 6 as the 0-2. And Alonso went reaching for that one. And an ill-advised swing leads to strike 3, and there's one gone. Yeah, if you look at the numbers for Tenuta, you give up 13 hits, 12 walks, 25 base runners allowed in 9 innings of work, and frankly, he's probably lucky he's got an ERA of 6 and not higher than that. He gets the first out here, though, on a strikeout, and now Grant Price, the batter, swinging and grounding the first pitch he sees over to second base. Goldstein throws on to first in time, and 2 quick outs for Tenuta. And now back to the top of the order. Logan Andraco will be the batter. Tough day for Andraco, who is now, over the course of the 2 games today, a combined 0 for 8. 0 for 3 in this one. And again, he's someone who had been pretty consistently getting on base throughout the season. Sprays that one foul. He'd reached base in each of the team's first 17 games entering play today. But it's certainly not its best day at the ballpark here today. It's an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. And he fouls that one back, 0-2. And Tenuta's got a chance for a very quick inning here in the 6th. He's thrown 7 pitches, all in the strike zone. He's got a strikeout, a ground out, and now ahead in the count, 0-2 on Andraco. The 0-2 offering from Tenuta, working from the stretch, delivers. Down low, first ball of the day thrown by Tenuta, brings the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Chopper, second base, Goldstein there, will flip over to first in time, and Tenuta works a 1-2-3 6th. As the Spartans will carry that 6-2 lead into the top of the 7th. Chicago trying to put a dent in it. It'll be Gladden, Ridner, and Goldstein due up when we return. Two, 3, and 4 this inning for Chicago. It's a 4-run Case Western Reserve lead. Gladden, Ridner, and Goldstein due up is the first pitch from Jackson Brewer, a called strike, 0-1. Brewer getting some really good movement on that fastball today. Might have been a change there. It swung on and missed at 0-2. Brewer looking sharp here in this one so far. In his second inning of work, trying to keep the game at 4 runs. That time misses outside, and it's 1-2. 1-2 offering now to Gladden, hitting a 200 on the year. And he pops it up along the line. Long run for Nick Harms, and no chance to get to that one. And so the count stays at 1-2 on Gladden, who will retreat to the plate. Gladden 1 for 3. As that's popped up foul and into the stands, and so we'll get another 1-2 coming. Gladden doubled in the first inning, came across to score the first run of the game for Chicago, gave them a 1-0 lead at the time. Chicago led 2-0 in this game as that ball grounded foul. However, the Spartans took the lead with a 5-run bottom of the second inning, added on a run in the bottom of the third on a solo home run by Dane Camphausen. And the score has been that way ever since, 6-2. Hit softly, third base side. Powers can't get to it. And again, another foul there by Gladden. Keeps the count at 1-2 still. One, two. Ground ball, third base side. Powers there. Throws on to first in time to get the out. One gone. So one retired, and the batter now is Eric Ridner. Ridner, the first baseman in the game today. And leading the Maroons with 14 runs batted in this season. He's 2 for 3 and now hitting a .289 on the year. He singled in the first, singled in the fifth, flew out to center field in the third. Pitches down low, ball one. Fouled off, 1-1. Well, it's a sunny day here. Still a little on the cool side outside. It's 41 degrees out. Frankly, a little balmy compared to what we had yesterday, though. As that misses down and out, 2-1. Again, when the team got to the ballpark yesterday at about 9 a.m., there were about 3 inches of snow on the ground. Took the better part of the next 3 to 4 hours to get the field playable as that misses up and in, 3-1. But it happened. The game started yesterday at 2 p.m. The Spartans won the first of 2 7-inning games yesterday by a final score of 2-1 as that catches the outside corner. Won the second 7-inning game of the day, 7-4. Then came back today and in the early contest, a 6-3 Case Western Reserve win. Ground ball through the left side of the infield, and that's a base hit for Ridner. His third hit of the game, the 7th hit of the day for Chicago. And there's a runner on at first with one away for Jack Goldstein. Goldstein hitting a 182. 0 for 1 today with 2 walks and a strikeout swinging. First pitch called strike, and it's 0-1. Movement in the Spartan bullpen, but I don't believe anyone's throwing right now as the 0-1 from Brewer on the way. And the breaking ball. Goldstein fooled badly by that one, brings the count to 0-2, and imagine if you're Brewer, you just saw Goldstein take a wild hack at the breaking ball down and out. You try to double up on that. Or at least you set him up with a pitch to come back to that. Yeah, he came back to the slider, and it dips down and away. This time Goldstein taking, and it's 1-2. One out, runner at first for Chicago. Another breaking ball. That time misses down low over the middle of the plate. And the count now at 2-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. So Goldstein down swinging for the second straight at bat. And now 2 outs with a runner at first for Malcolm Whites. White's the designated hitter. Can't hold on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. White singled in the 3rd inning. It was his first hit of the season and the first hit of the first-year player's career. He'll foul that one back, and now in an 0-2 hole. Brewer gives a glance over to first. Now the 0-2 on the way. Delivers. And a little inside, 1-2. See if that was a setup pitch there for Brewer. He's done a good job working off that outside corner, either coming back with what I believe is a 2-seam fastball over that outside corner or the slider that runs away from it. That time hung the pitch a little bit. The ball will go foul, though, down that third base line by Whites. I think Brewer was trying to come off that outside corner again with the slider, but instead the pitch caught a bit more of the plate than he wanted, but Whites just fouled it off down that third base side. So count stays at 1-2 on Whites. Ridner takes the lead from first. Here's the 1-2. That ball lined into left field, and it's a base hit. Stopping at second base is Ridner, but Whites with his second hit of the game.
Up to bat, Jonathan Zevy.
And it's now first and second with 2 away. And the batter is the left fielder, Jonathan Zevy. Zevy, a 182 hitter on the year, batting here, representing with the potential game time run on deck, trying to keep the inning going. Zevy, 0 for 2 in the game. Drew a walk in his last at bat as he fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. And fouled off again, 0-2. Let's see if Brewer can finish off Zevy here. Ridner singled with 1 out. He's now standing at second after White singled just a moment ago with 2 outs. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the inning. So Zevy strikes out swinging, and we will move along to the bottom of the 7th. Case Western Reserve with a 4-run lead over Chicago. Due up this inning for the Spartans, 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Anderson, Powers, and Harms when we come back. Second inning of work for Tenuta will face Jack Anderson to start things off. 2, 3, and 4 in the Spartans' order. Anderson, Powers, and Harms. Defense now shifted for Anderson to pull as he takes the first pitch up and in, ball one. Second baseman Goldstein standing right behind the bag. And a big swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Tenuta retired the side in order in his first inning of work in the sixth. Begins the seventh here against Anderson. And that misses up high, 2-1. Spartans leading 6-2. They took a lead in the second inning and have held it ever since. Fouled away, 2-2. Now the 2-2 on the way. And another one wasted by Anderson. Count stays at 2-2. Spartans trying to complete a 4-game sweep over Chicago. It would extend their winning streak to 6 games. There would be their longest winning streak so far this season. And a little below the knees. Full count, 3-2. It would also give the Spartans 8 wins in their last 9 games. And that one misses outside as Tenuta slipped off the mound. Ball 4. So a leadoff walk by Anderson, who is a speed threat on the base pass. We saw the Spartans hit and run with Anderson and on base and Powers at the plate earlier in the inning, or earlier in the game, I should say. Anderson currently 5 stolen bases on as many attempts this season. Powers squaring a bunt and takes a called strike, 0-1. Again, the shift, although not quite as pronounced, is for Powers to hit the opposite way. Breaking ball down and out, 1-1. Powers singled in his last at bat, nearly decapitated the umpire in the field with a line drive and went into the outfield. It's down low for a ball, 2-1. He's now hitting at .363 on the year. It's been a nice week for James. Two for 3 in the game today. And a swing and a miss there. And it's 2-2. I actually take that back. That line drive that was right at the umpire in the field was actually off of Nick Harms' bat. Powers popped up in his last trip to the plate. But again, 2 for 3 in the game with a single and a double. 2-2 pitch on the way. Runner goes. Swung on, hit towards the shift. This time it worked. Throwing to first in the dirt, but a nice dig out there at first base by Ridner. And that will be the first out of the inning. Anderson moves up 90 feet on the play, so he's standing at second. And Nick Harms will be the batter. As I mentioned earlier, Harms with a hard-hit single in his last trip to the plate. Nearly ended up scoring Jack Anderson from first base on the single. Harms 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and that base hit today. Batting at .264. First pitch to Harms. Runner goes. The pitch swung on and missed at. Anderson slides in safely and keeps his foot on the bag, too. It's an 0-1 count at the plate, but Anderson swipes his 6th bag of the season. And he's now 90 feet away with just 1 out in the inning. Powers can score him with a productive out here. Here's the pitch. And he Harmskin scoring with a productive out as a swing and a miss brings the count to 0-2. Well, situation where if you're Harms, you could tighten up that swing a little bit now. 0-2. Just try to put the ball in play and get the run across. The 0-2 stays up high, 1-2. And a swing and a miss at the pitch in the dirt, strike 3. So 2 gone in the inning now, and Tenuta a chance to work around the leadoff walk. He'll face Dane Camphausen with 2 outs and a runner at third. Camphausen having himself a very nice day at the plate. His first pitch on the way, well outside for a ball, 1-0. Camphausen 2 for 3 in this one, a single, a solo home run, and is grounded out as well. The 1-0 pitch with Anderson 90 feet away at third base. Camphausen at the plate. He swings through that one, and the count goes to 1-1. Camphausen, the graduate student, his first year with the Spartans, coming over from Worcester, where he had a productive undergraduate career. The 1-1 now. And he takes it up high and in, 2-1. Anderson a few steps off the bag at third. Tenuta on the mound, sets. Here's his 2-1. And a swing and a miss, 2-2. And Tenuta a strike away from getting through a scoreless 7th. Two to Camphausen. And a called strike 3, and that will end the inning. So leadoff walk to Jack Anderson, but Tenuta pitches around it and will move into the 8th. Chicago trailing Case Western Reserve 6-2. It'll be the bottom of the Chicago order coming up. Benner, Sharp, and Jurvik due up when we come back. First pitch swinging ball hit the deep center field. Connor Stevenson, who was just in the game as a defensive replacement, tracks it down and makes the catch to retire the catcher, Will Benner. I didn't even get to tell you about our new center fielder before he got himself in the middle of the action. Connor Stevenson comes into the game. He'll be batting in Franco Alonso's spot in the lineup, the 8th spot, and makes a nice play defensively in center field. Logan Andraco moves from center to left. And it's an 0-1 count now on Sharp at the plate. Jackson Brewer is still on the mound for the Spartans, and he has been good in relief so far today. The 0-1. Outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Brewer has really cemented his role as a key member of this bullpen. Someone who could come in, pitch multiple innings for you out of the bullpen. He made a spot start already this year, and he'll get another strikeout there as Sharp down looking for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here in the 8th, and now it'll be Braden Jervik who will be the batter. So 2 gone in the 8th. Chicago down to their final 4 outs. Jervik fouls that one off. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Reached on a walk and scored the second run of the game for Chicago back in the second. He's also flown out and struck out looking. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 from Brewer. And on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Quick 8th inning for Jackson Brewer, who sits down the side in order and will move to the bottom of the 8th. Case Western Reserve with potentially their last at-bat of the weekend coming up here in the 8th, leading 6-2. Carinci, Stilson, and Stevenson when we come back. Carson Walker set to pinch hit for the Spartans to lead the inning off. He'll face a new pitcher as Zach Carinci will check out of the game. Walker in. And then again, the new pitcher on the mound for Chicago will be Richard Liu, who we've seen defensively. In fact, he started the first 3 games for Chicago. First pitch popped up by Walker. In the infield, second baseman Goldstein has it, puts it away for the out, and there is 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 8th. Tyler Stilson will now be the batter. This will be whose first appearance of the year. Facing the designated hitter Stilson, who's drawn a couple walks today, along with a double. That ball down the third baseline foul. Stilson 1 for 1, an RBI double in the second inning, and then has walked twice since. And one misses ball 1, 1-1 the count. Spartans trying to complete the 4-game sweep of Chicago. That misses outside ball 2, 2-1 the count. Outside corner for a called strike. Count goes to 2-2 now on Stilson. Franco Alonso out there on deck, so he must have stayed in the game. So Alonso's still in the game. I'm guessing he moved to second. As that's fouled away. Count stays at 2-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3.
Up to bat, Franco Alonso.
So Alonso will now be the batter. Facing Lou. First pitch to Alonso. Line drive, and that's just foul. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, fouled back. It's 0-2. Lou trying to get through a quick 8th. That ball in the air, shallow right, coming in, diving, and unable to make the catch. As that'll go as a base hit for Alonso. And we'll bring Grant Price to the plate. So Price hitting here with 2 away. Takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-2. And that one fouled off. So Price staying alive, 0-2. And that ball down the line. And just foul. Oh, 2 once again to Price. 2 away in the inning, runner at first, and he fouls another one back. Count stays at 0-2. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a ball, no throw, and it's a stolen base for Alonso. Count goes to 1-2 on Price at the plate, who could drive in an insurance run here with a base hit. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back, count stays at 1-2. inside. Price moves out of the way of that one, and the count goes to 2-2. And a swing and a miss, strike three, and that ends the inning. So the Spartans will take a 6-2 lead into the ninth. Chicago's last chance when we come back. Top of the order for Chicago. Slipok up at the plate. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Last chance for Chicago here against Jackson Brewer, who's actually in line for the save if he can close this one out. Brewer looking for his first save of the season. Gets a foul ball there, and it's 0-2. It's been a nice outing for Jackson Brewer, who entered the game in the sixth inning and has pitched 3 scoreless innings since, striking out 6. He's yet to issue a walk, has given up just a pair of hits. Ahead in the count here, 0-2, and that one's grounded through for a base hit. So Slipok singles through the left side of the infield. He's on to lead things off for Chicago, and now Michael Gladden, the third baseman, coming up. There is action in the Spartan bullpen. If the game gets closer, would be curious to see who the Spartans go to. I can't see who's warming up out there currently, but that one grounds over to short. Price flips to second for one. Alonso on to first, dug out by Camphausen. 6-4-3 double play turned. And now down to their final out is Chicago after a wonderfully turned 6-4-3 double play by the Spartans. And that's been a thorn in this team's side all season long, but they're getting the job done on a tailor-made double play. And now 2 gone and a chance to put a bow on this one if you're Jackson Brewer. He'll face the 3-hitter, Ridner, who singled in the 7th inning against him. Ridner now hitting at .304 and ahead in the count, 1-0. It's been a good game for Ridner. And that one hits him. So Ridner, who had 3 hits in the game, now hit by a pitch. And he'll be on base with 2 outs. Now bring the second baseman to the plate, Jack Goldstein. Goldstein hitting at .178. Struck out his last time up against Brewer. Looks like we'll get a pinch runner here at first base. I believe that's Brady Miller. Try to confirm that here if we could see a number. And indeed, that's Miller, number 1, who will take over as a pinch runner for Ridner. And the pitch at the plate taken for a strike. And the count goes to 0-1 on Goldstein. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on chopper, could end the game. Powers there, throws on the run, in time for the out, and the Spartans complete the sweep. So Case Western Reserve takes all 4 from Chicago. They close out the series with a 6-2 win here in the 4th and final game. And the Spartans improve on the year to 14-5, 6 straight wins for Case Western Reserve as the Spartans rolling right now. Chicago drops to 1-13 on the year. Case Western Reserve now 14-5. The winning pitcher today is Tyler Stilson. He's now 2-0 on the season. The save goes to Jackson Brewer, who throws 4 scoreless innings in relief. That's his first save of the season. The loss goes to starting pitcher Dev Rupani, who will fall to 0-1 on the year. The game lasted, let's see, where are we at? 2 hours and 25 minutes. So another quick one here in the second game of the day as the Spartans go on to win. And attendance here at the ballpark was 187 for our second and final game of the series. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us today. A reminder that the Spartans will be on the road next weekend, so it'll be a bit before they're back in town, but we'll see you for the next home game. Once again, the Spartans, a nice showing here today against Chicago and a nice showing all weekend long, and they'll head into Emory to start conference play on a 6-game winning streak. Final score once again, 6-2 as Case Western Reserve with the win. Have a great evening, everyone, and we will see you in a few weeks. Take care.